All right, so I guess we've gotten the state of the show and what we've been up to out the way. So let's go ahead and go into what we're here to talk about today. We're going to talk about Inception, which just hit the theaters. What was it, like a week or two ago?
Yeah, about.
And it's a sci-fi film written, produced, and directed by Christopher Nolan, and stars Leonardo DiCaprio. And basically, it's a movie about lucid dreaming.
There's one thing you should know about me. I specialize in a very specific type of security. Subconscious security.
You're talking about dreams?
Mr. Cobb has a job offer he would like to discuss with you.
Like a work placement?
Not exactly. We create the world of the dream. We bring the subject into that dream, and they fill it with their secrets.
Then you break in and steal it.
Well, it's not strictly speaking legal. It's called Inception. Already. I think I found a way home. And this last job, that's how I get there. Dreams feel real while we're in them. It's only when we wake up that we realize something was actually strange.
This is your responsibility. We are not prepared for this. The dream's collapsing.
I have it under control. I'd hate to see out of control.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Before I get into anything about it, I want to let Matt have an opportunity to go ahead and tell me what he thought of the film. So Matt, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone?
All right. I thought it was an amazing movie. A lot of people compare it to The Matrix. To me, it's not really like The Matrix, but I guess some of the things in it could be said to be like it, I guess. But it was a really good movie. I mean, it's really hard to talk about without throwing any type of spoilers out there. So, the acting's really good in it. Leonardo DiCaprio's came a very long way. I used to really not care for him at all, and now he's very good. I mean, he was good in Shutter Island. He's good in this. If you're not familiar, I mean, I guess with some of the stories, basically, he's a thief. He steals secrets out of people's minds or in their dreams, and people pay him to do it. It kind of reminds me a little bit, I guess, of like Ocean's 12 too, because you have like this bandit group of characters and they go through trying to steal something. The effects are amazing. Not revolutionary like how The Matrix was. I guess that was one of the big things about The Matrix when it came around, was how revolutionary it was. The whole idea of going into somebody's dreams and stealing, like financial secrets or anything like that is a different form of hacking, I guess, is what's so intriguing to probably a lot of like the geek community and things like that. This is definitely a great movie. I want to see it again. I would recommend anybody to see it. That's like even like The Matrix or anything along those lines. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I also too, agree with you. The movie was spectacular. I really liked the plot. The story kept you immersed in the world. You didn't know. It got to a point to where you didn't know whether they were in a dream world or where they weren't. You know, and you know, the Matrix comparison, I could see somewhat on that side of the aspect because of the fact that, you know, I guess the mythology of how you go under to get into the new world. I mean, if you think about it, when you were plugged into the Matrix, your body was asleep. You know, it just was through computers, and you had a hole in your head, which something jacked into. You know, I don't. They really didn't get too much into the aspect of how you ended up together in the same dream. But I think that was cool because it kind of leaves it up to your imagination. And that's one of the things I really liked about this movie was a lot of the stuff that they did in this movie left things up to your imagination. Instead of, you know, and it didn't ruin the movie by not knowing. It just made a what if, or how would it have been if this had happened, or you don't even know if the ending of the movie is truly the end. You know, the way, you know, that the whole movie goes is just phenomenal, and I really like the special effects. While not revolutionary, it's amazing to see how far we've come, you know, being a child of the 80s, that, you know, you can kind of remember looking back at some of those films to now. If you look at the history of special effects, you could definitely go back and look at an 80s movie and be like, oh, that was cheesy. And if you look at something now, you can be like, man, I can't tell if that's fake or not, you know, so it's pretty amazing. Leonardo DiCaprio, brilliant performance. He was great in Shutter Island, I agree. And I also agree with the fact that, you know, he's came a long way, because, like, when he was younger, you know, you could say Leonardo DiCaprio, and I was like, man, I really don't care. You know, but now it's getting to a point to where you say his name and it's like, oh, that's probably going to be a good movie. So I definitely liked it, and I want to see it again, and I'll probably see it again after that too. It was pretty good, and I really liked what they did with the story and where they went with it. So
yeah, I would say this was probably one of the movies you'll definitely want to see this summer. Definitely. Mm-hmm. How you were saying you didn't know how they all got in a dream at the same time. They showed in the movie how they did that.
Yeah, I mean they showed the case and whatnot, but they don't get into the specifics. Like, you know, in the Matrix, you saw the jack and you understood that, okay, a computer was getting into their brain, but they don't show, like, okay, they show these hoses. Where do the hoses connect to? What do they do? How does it link them?
It looked like it was an IV.
Yeah, but I mean, how does an IV? It's just medicine. It's just. But,
no, it's putting them to sleep. That's the thing.
Yeah, but how did they end up in the same dream together, conscious of each other's? You know, that's what I'm saying. There was no computer interface to link one mind to the other.
No, but I think they were all linked through the hoses because they're all in the same room.
Yeah. So I mean, I could understand that aspect of it, but I mean, like, if you remember at the beginning when he was hacking that one dude's head, he was in a separate room, and the other guy was in a bed, and he was in a chair, and they were.
Yeah, but they were all in the same room though.
Yeah.
He was just on the bed. They were, you know, in the chairs above the water.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was another thing too, you know, that we didn't mention, was how they get into the kick and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool too, you know.
Yeah, that was pretty chill.
Yeah, but like, it was neat how they would go from one level of a dream into the next level of a dream into another level of a dream. So I thought that was pretty chill as well too.
Yeah,
so,
it was pretty good. I would definitely see it again. That's for sure.
Yeah. So
this is awesome.
Give your final conclusion on the movie, Dougie, and let everyone know what you think.
I would see it, definitely. If you miss it, you're a loser.
Yeah, don't be an L7. Go see the movie. It's definitely a must-see in my book. And if you don't see it, then you're going to miss out on a really good movie. And it won't be the same watching it on TV. Unless you got, like, a nice system that trumps the theater. So